Um, so that does tie into some issues that are happening now, this class, and the kind of research you guys are doing. Are there any other kind of big issues right now that you guys are kind of looking at that also affects Pullman besides like something like that that's kind of prevalent in the news right now? Or if there's not, or if there's nothing you can think of, that's fine. I'm just curious.
I mean, there are other, to do with health and.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to think. I mean, there are other kind of research that's going on, that may not be related to health. But at this point in time, these are some of the things people are working on related to health, related stuff. And there are one or two people in math, working with other individuals. They may be looking at cancer research. Again, how to model tumor growth, growth of a tumor and things like that. But that's kind of, again, in a broad, sense.
Yes, right. That's totally fine. So are there any really important like local issues going on around here right now, in the community or at the school? Just any issues like funding issues, or maybe there's some agricultural issues that there's some research going on to try and find that, or maybe with the marijuana stuff, the new stuff.
No, I mean funding. I mean, if you think about funding, most of these research people go out and get funding from national agencies like National Institutes of Health or National Science Foundation.
Right.
And these days, it's rather difficult to get funding.
Right, I was going to ask that. Is it harder for people to get funding now with,
It's getting harder and harder because the federal government is cutting the amount of money they give for these agencies.
Okay, perfect.
So that creates a lot of issues for us, especially if you have a research active faculty. Most of the people, if you have a laboratory where you are doing experiments and doing stuff, the people who are working there, the technicians, the graduate students, everybody is funded by grants from outside. So if the grants are not coming in, then it's difficult to continue with that research.
Is there anything else? No, that's basically it. Unless you think that you have something to add, like if there's some more like future research that you know of that you think is pretty important or anything else. Other than that, I think I'm pretty good. I have a pretty good idea of what's going on and some interesting topics I could focus on.
Okay, so that's good.
Okay.
I mean, you know the global animal health, right? I mean, you know.
Yeah. I'm talking with someone in health too. I wasn't able to, get a hold of Bruce, right? Which is unfortunate. I just have to get to someone, in a program.
Yeah.
Oh, I do
actually. I can,
question.
if you want another angle, I can talk about is like that can relate to global animal health. There are some faculty here in anthropology in the College of Arts and Sciences. They work jointly with researchers in global animal health. But one of the things they are doing is, because since they're anthropologists, they are connected with some small kind of rural areas in Africa. So they go to Africa, into some of these rural areas, and there they try to look at the people and the animals. They are living in close quarters. So when the animals and the humans are living next to each other, sometimes it's possible for some of the diseases the animals carry to jump into the human population.
Mm-hmm.
So they are looking at at those kind of issues, from the anthropological side of things. Like even when you talk about H1N1, people call that swine flu, right?
Yeah.
And when you think about HIV,
Mm-hmm.
again, people think that came from the animals.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I guess I just have one more additional question. And are there any stories that you think the local media is missing that you think need to be told about research or something that's happening within the school or anything like that?
I don't know. I mean, when you say local media, Pullman, Moscow Daily News, and stuff like that. I mean, one of the things. I mean, this is not talking about a particular story, but Pullman, Moscow Daily News. Typically, when you look at it, you always see a lot of stories about University of Idaho, not many about WSU.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why. I mean, there's a little bit of bias there, I think. I don't know whether it's because they're not picking up the stories, because I know that the people in every college, they have their own communications people.
Mm-hmm.
So normally they put out a news tip out there for somebody to pick it. And maybe sometimes, you don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in terms of research funding and scholarship and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, you see somebody here at WSU getting a large grant to do some big project, but nobody hears about it,
Right.
in the local media. We know about it, and at the same time, you see somebody at University of Idaho getting a small grant to do something,
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of publicized. So I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I guess I'm good other than that.